I have given you, I have asked to give you a leaflet like this because a talk about poetry is normally very confusing. Because, first of all, the person who gives the talk should read very clearly, which is not the case with me. And the second point is that one always has to jump in one's head here and there. Here I have given some essential things which, as you see, are clearly there before you, and you do not have to put your brain into a knot to know what it is about. Another talk about Savitri, yes. In fact, I have given this talk 12 years ago when Savitri Bhavan was still under the key roof. So now I have taken it up again because I find it so important, not only for the understanding of Savitri, but also for our understanding of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother's work. Sri Aurobindo has subtitled his epic poem, A Legend and a Symbol. The legend, chosen from the Mahabharata, is the story of Savitri and Satyavan serving as the framework for the symbol. The legend serves as the framework for the symbol. And the symbol is the glorious poetic creation that gives shape to Sri Aurobindo and the Mother's avataric work, their message and their promise. As you know, the whole of Savitri actually happens in one single day. And this is one of the indications of Sri Aurobindo's multifaceted cultural knowledge, that in these he imitates the Greek tragedies, where everything also happens in one day. Here the day starts with the symbol dawn, and it finishes when everybody at night comes home and nobody knows what has happened. And this seems to be the story of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother's work. Nobody ever knows or has known what happened. When Sri Aurobindo left his body, nobody has known what happened. When the mother was ill, nobody has known what happened. And it is not I saying that, it is the mother herself saying that so many times. So you know, you have the 5 cantos of the first book, the symbol dawn, then who Savitri was and who was she? She was the avatar of the great goddess. Question: why did Sri Aurobindo have to ask the great goddess Mahashakti to come down on the earth? Why did he have to ask her? Hasn't she been on the earth before? Many times, as she has said herself. She has been there as Elizabeth, as Hatshepsut, as Jeanne d'Arc, as Catherine II, and so on and so on, sometimes in 4 bodies at the same time, as she has said. Why did Sri Aurobindo, in this great exploration, finish with going and asking the boon of the Mother to incarnate on the earth? This is the fundamental question and the fundamental theme of the first part of Savitri, while then the battle or dialogue or whatever you want to call it with that is the second part, what she did. To wrestle with the shadow she had come, and must confront the riddle of man's birth, and life's brief struggle in dumb matter's night. To wrestle with death she had come. Whether to bear with ignorance and death, or hew the ways of immortality, to win or lose the godlike game for man, was her soul's issue, thrown with destiny's dice. To hew the ways of immortality. Now, the more I have read, and I'm reading about Sri Aurobindo and the mother from several commentators, exegetes, and analysts, the more I have the impression that one has totally forgotten what it is about. It is as if one looks at the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, and there is the Sibyl, and there are the prophets, and there is this, and there is that. There are all these stories and all these figures, but what it actually means, this immense intervention of Sri Aurobindo and the mother in the history of humanity and of the earth, to change everything from trying to escape in trying to transform. Why has it been forgotten? Because people do not feel concerned about it. They are doing a yoga. They know about the mother. They will pray to the mother. They have put the mother and Sri Aurobindo in the pantheon of the gods, mostly next to Ganesh and to Durga and Lakshmi, and who is their Ishtadevata. But that here, our life is a participation in this incredible adventure, so difficult, so painful, so full of surprises or of lack of surprises. This is almost completely put aside. And then these are the words that are worth remembering by Sri Aurobindo. Without a complete alertness from the reader, the subtleties of a mystical and symbolic poem cannot be grasped. Sri Aurobindo wrote, "A critic of Savitri must be one who has seen and felt what is in the thing written." A critic of Savitri must be one who has seen and felt what is in the thing written. He must be open to these kinds of poetry, overhead poetry, able to see the spiritual vision it conveys, capable too of feeling the overhead touch when it comes. He must be the fit reader. These are such beautiful words. He must be the fit reader. Number one, he must be receptive for that poetry. Not only ordinary poetry, but highly inspired poetry. He must have a broadness of mind which can accept or even try to accompany Sri Aurobindo on his travels through these worlds, the higher life world, the lower life world, the worlds of death, on her grey mattress of matter, and go up to beyond to that vision. Can we do that? I cannot, and I don't think that there are many who can, but is what I am saying a condemnation of reading Savitri? That is something totally different, because it is given to us. And a book, as the mother has said, is an occult object. When one reads a book, one comes into contact with the mind of the writer. And this is why many times you can foresee what is going to happen, not always, but in something, but one is always in contact with the mind of the writer. So, Savitri is given to us to be in contact with the mind of the writer. And that is one of the reasons that the mother said, if you don't feel well, or even on normal days, before you sleep, take Savitri, read a few lines, whatever, and then go into your dreams. So you see, it is not at all a condemnation of reading Savitri, far from it. This would be quite stupid, and you could throw stones at me. But what it is a question to most of the text of the writers about Savitri. Be careful, they don't know. Most of them are not even poets. They do not have the sensitivity to go into it, and they will make a narrative and say all things. You can juggle with Savitri endlessly. And if you don't find the support in this passage, you will find on another page and something else and so on. There is no end to this possibility. Sri Aurobindo finished by saying, there must be a new extension of consciousness and aesthesis, aesthetical sensibility, to appreciate a new kind of mystic poetry, which Savitri certainly is.